The penthouse of the Miller Grand Tower offered the best view of Chicago, but for Elizabeth Miller, it had become a gilded cage of grief and suspicion. Her husband, Robert Miller, the man who had built half the city's skyline, was dead. The official report said it was a sudden heart attack, but Elizabeth knew better. Robert was a marathon runner, a man of iron health. As she stood in the cold marble hallway of the Cook County Courthouse, she wasn't just a grieving widow. She was a woman prepared for war. Across from her sat Marcus Thorne, Robert's business partner of 20 years, and the man who was currently trying to steal his legacy. The partnership of Miller and Thorne was legendary. Robert was the visionary architect, while Marcus was the ruthless strategist. Together, they turned a small construction firm into a multi-billion-dollar real estate empire. But the day after Robert's funeral, Marcus walked into Elizabeth's home with a document that changed everything. It was a buy-sell agreement, allegedly signed by Robert just 48 hours before his death, transferring all his shares to Marcus for a fraction of their actual value. "Your Honor," Marcus's attorney began, standing confidently before the judge, "this is a standard business procedure. Mr. Miller knew his health was failing and wanted to ensure the stability of the company. The signature is notarized, the witnesses are present, and the document is legally binding. Mrs. Miller's claims of foul play are nothing more than a desperate attempt to grab more money." Elizabeth's lawyer, a sharp, soft-spoken man named David Vance, didn't raise his voice. He simply opened a laptop. "We aren't here for more money, Your Honor. We are here because dead men don't sign contracts 3 hours after they've been admitted to a private clinic for exhaustion, a detail Mr. Thorne conveniently left out of his timeline." The courtroom went silent. Marcus's face remained a mask of stone, but his knuckles whitened as he gripped his mahogany chair. Elizabeth watched him, remembering the dinners they had shared, the vacations, the years of friendship that had been a lie. As the trial entered its second week, the defense presented a series of emails from Robert's private account, suggesting he was unhappy with Elizabeth and wanted to leave the business entirely to Marcus. It looked like a crushing blow. But Elizabeth had a silent partner of her own. Robert had always been a man of habit, and his most loyal companion wasn't Marcus. It was his personal assistant of 15 years, Sarah Jenkins, who had disappeared the day after the funeral. On the final day of testimony, Sarah Jenkins walked into the courtroom. She wasn't empty-handed. She carried a digital recorder Robert had kept in his office for dictating notes. Robert knew, Sarah testified, her voice trembling but clear. He had discovered that Marcus was embezzling millions through shell companies in the Cayman Islands. He told Marcus that Monday evening that he was going to the authorities. She pressed play on the recorder. The room filled with the sound of a heated argument. Robert's voice was unmistakable. "You betrayed this company, Marcus. I've spent 20 years building this with you, and you treated it like your personal piggy bank. Tomorrow, the board gets the audit, and then I'm calling the police." Marcus's voice followed, cold and devoid of emotion. "You won't be calling anyone, Robert. You're tired. You need to rest." The medical examiner was recalled to the stand. Under the pressure of the new evidence, he admitted that a second, more detailed toxicology report, one that had been suppressed, showed traces of a powerful, fast-acting paralytic that could mimic a heart attack in a man of Robert's age. The judge's decision was swift. The buy-sell agreement was declared fraudulent. The court ordered an immediate seizure of Marcus Thorne's assets and referred the case to the district attorney for a criminal homicide investigation. Elizabeth Miller walked out of the courthouse not just as the owner of an empire, but as the woman who had finally brought her husband's killer to justice. The city of Chicago still stands tall, but the Miller Grand Tower now bears only one name. Money can build a legacy, but only the truth can sustain it. What would you do if your closest friend became your greatest enemy? Is justice ever truly served in the world of the powerful? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching Justice Journals. Make sure to subscribe for our next deep dive into the secrets of the courtroom. The court is adjourned.